Hello, I'm Craig Brailsford, and welcome to another episode of Small Stocks, Big Money. For those of you new to the show, RedChip is an investor relations, media, and research firm focused on emerging growth companies. Our unique platform combines global multimedia with traditional investor relations, reaching investors around the world. Now, today's show features interviews with the executives of two public companies. First up is Bragg House. Bragg House is a leading media technology gaming platform dedicated to transforming casual college gaming into a vibrant, community-driven experience. By seamlessly merging gaming, social interaction, and cutting-edge technology, the company provides an inclusive and engaging environment for casual gamers while enabling brands to authentically connect with the influential Gen Z demographic. The platform offers live streaming capabilities, gamification features, and custom tournament services, fostering meaningful engagement between users and brands. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Up next is FibroBiologics. FibroBiologics is a clinical stage biotechnology company developing a pipeline of treatments and potential cures for chronic diseases using fibroblast cells and fibroblast-derived materials. FibroBiologics holds more than 160 U.S. and internationally issued patents and pending patents across various clinical pathways, including disc degeneration, orthopedics, multiple sclerosis, psoriasis, wound healing, reversing organ involution, and cancer. FibroBiologics represents the next generation of medical advancement in cell therapy. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Before we dive into our first interview, let's take a moment to recognize some of RedChip's top performers in 2024, among them RedCat, up an incredible 1,293% in 2024. Alliance Entertainment, soaring by 842%, Gorilla Technology, which gained 250%, and Nova Minerals, up 149%. These companies have demonstrated the immense potential of the small-cap market. Before we move forward, let's take a look at RedChat, a revolutionary AI chatbot for small-cap stock analysis.
Think RedChip. Think RedChat. Answers in seconds on any NYSE or NASDAQ company. Fast, easy, precise, from blue chips to microcaps. Cash, enterprise value, analyst ratings, answers in seconds. RedChat with SEC filing references. Think RedChip. Think RedChat, your AI assistant for every NYSE and NASDAQ company. Get the app today. RedChip. RedChat.
Now, let's move on to our quote of the week. It comes from the book Small Stocks, Big Money. Work hard, be a long-term thinker, develop tenacity, and remember, nothing happens without taking calculated risks. This quote comes from Phil Sassower of the Phoenix Group, and it is featured in Chapter 9 of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book of exclusive interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now, let's get started with our first interview today with Bragg House. Hello, today we have the pleasure of welcoming Lavelle Juan Malloy II, CEO and co-founder of Bragg House, trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker TBH. Lavelle, welcome.
Thank you so much, Craig, for having me.
Lavelle, Bragg House sits at the intersection of gaming, college sports, and social media. Why is that combination so powerful?
Well, it's so powerful because those are the three most dominant cultural forces that are driving Gen Z today. And that's our community, Craig. Bragg House is unique because we don't just sit at that intersection, we activate it. First, through a dynamic community hub where Gen Z can engage authentically through gaming, college rivalries. And second, we layered in a data engine. And those insights from that platform are able to capture real-time behavioral analytics.
The gaming industry is a $300 billion market, and Gen Z holds $360 billion in spending power. Now, how big is the addressable market you're going after?
Enormous. The interesting thing about Bragg House is that we operate at the nexus of three high-growth industries. So gaming, $300 billion, digital advertising, $700 billion, and data analytics, which is $350 billion. So even with a conservative penetration of just 0.5%, 0.5, our total addressable market is over 6.7 billion.
Plus, you've already partnered with major names such as Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and Learfield. What is attracting these major brands to your model?
Simply, we solve a massive blind spot in their marketing strategy. So brands have traditionally focused on the top 1% of professional gamers, the mega influencers, but 99% of these, gamers or fans are non-professional. And that's kind of where Braghouse comes in. We've kind of reimagined gaming as more of a social, inclusive, brand-friendly environment. And our platform doesn't just offer eyeballs, but it offers real engagements. And that helps brands connect directly through Gen Z through our platform.
You're now launching a tiered membership model with multiple monetization points, from tournaments to live stream features. Now, how big is the upside on user-based recurring revenue?
I think it's really big, and it's two parts. So one, again, is our platform. And our platform, multi-tiered membership, we're unlocking live streaming, premium tournaments, loyalty rewards, and we do all of that through the platform. We spent a lot of time in making sure that we authentically connect to our users. And we're now being able to leverage that with some amazing partnerships. As you mentioned, Learfield is one of them. And Learfield gives us access to over 200 plus universities in the United States. Secondly, on the backdrop of that, as I think I mentioned, we have access to first party behavioral data. So going into 2026, all these activations that we're doing are going to be on the backbone of creating a really robust data model, which we also plan to monetize through a SaaS model and provide that offering to brands.
Management, Lavelle, of course, it's key to the success of any company, but especially a smaller cap company. Tell us about some of the players on your team.
You said it, team is everything. And we've assembled a world-class team, expertise across media, tech, finance, operations. Personally, I bring over 20 years of experience in the background in corporate law, digital strategy. Our CAO, Daniel Leibovich, he's been deep in operational experience, scaling startups, managing tech infrastructure. We recently brought in a CFO, Chetan Jindal, has over 2 decades of investment experience, previously managed a global equity fund. And we're really then supported by a strong independent board, leaders from companies like Citi, ESPN, ADT, even PIF, the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia. And this bench really strengthens and gives us a strategic vision and execution muscle that we need for growth.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Are you ready?
Please do.
All right. Give us the essential value proposition, Lavelle. Why should anyone take an interest in Braghouse right now?
Well, Braghouse isn't just a gaming platform. We are specifically a media tech company that's built for Gen Z with strong infrastructure. And I think we've proven that we can execute major brands. And now with our Learfield partnership, as I mentioned, that's given us access to over 200 universities and scaling that model nationally. So as we move towards our SaaS, our subscription phases, we're really building a high margin, scalable business with real tech defensibility.
Lavelle, great meeting you, and thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been fun talking to you, Craig.
Now, to get more information on Braghouse, visit braghouseinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like Braghouse. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small-cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel, and also go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly our client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can also order your copy of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book written by RedChip's CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Order your copy on Amazon today. for just $18. Before we move forward, let's take a look at RedChat, a revolutionary AI chatbot for small-cap stock analysis.
Think RedChip. Think RedChat. Answers in seconds on any NYSE or NASDAQ company. Fast, easy, precise. From blue chips to microcaps. Cash, enterprise value, analyst ratings. Answers in seconds. RedChat with SEC filing references. Think RedChip. Think RedChat. Your AI assistant for every NYSE and NASDAQ company. Get the app today. RedChip. RedChat.
Now, let's move on to our next interview today with FibroBiologics. Hello, today we have Pete O'Hearn, Chairman, Founder, and CEO of FibroBiologics, trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker FBLG. Pete, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
FibroBiologics, a clinical stage biotech addressing chronic diseases with large unmet needs. Most investors probably don't realize just how big the chronic disease market is, Pete. Can you give us a sense of the scale of the medical problems FibroBiologics is targeting?
Sure. We look at big pharma since the 1960s. They've never really cured a chronic disease, and trillions of dollars spent on that. We look at chronic diseases as a planet-sized market. The diabetes alone is over 537 million people globally, which is more than the populations of U.S. and Brazil combined. They affect up to 25% of the diabetic patients, and they're responsible for 80% of the non-traumatic lower limb amputations. That's tens of billions of dollars. The broader chronic wound space is a $20 to $30 billion global market, and it grows every year with the aging population. So this is a really unmet market with really no good solution.
Let's talk about diabetic foot ulcers, which is your lead program. It actually is a condition that can lead to amputations and even death. What makes your treatment different from what's available out there today?
Well, I will start with more time on target. The current treatments are dressings, debridement. There is a leading biologic that's the number one in the market. We outperform that in the lab. We heal in 50% of the time of that existing product. We put on the wound site spheroids. Those are droplets of fibroblast cells, up to 3,000 per droplet. And they dissolve into the wound in a very predictable biologic time release. And what that gives us is more time on target for those to release their growth factors and cytokines into that wound to create that healing environment. And we've seen fantastic results in the lab, and we're excited to start our human trials.
Tell me more about the platform approach of FibroBiologics. It's really the thing that stands out to me about your company. Now, how does your technology allow you to go after multiple diseases with that one core system?
It's a great question. There's two cells in the human body you can use to regenerate tissue and cure chronic disease. There's a stem cell, which everybody's heard about, and there's a fibroblast, which almost nobody's heard about. The irony is that fibroblasts outnumber stem cells 5,000 to 1. We have found them to have more potency, higher therapeutic value than stem cells. They're easier to harvest than stem cells. You can take a small dermal punch, and from that you can virtually grow the entire human body. They are a more robust cell. Stem cells are inherently unstable, and fibroblasts are very stable. They are fully differentiated. So stem cells want to be anything other than a stem cell. Fibroblasts know that they're fibroblasts. They can become other cells, but you have to talk them into it. And the irony of ironies is the reason we know about stem cells is because in 2012, Dr. Yamanaka from Japan won the Nobel Prize for the first induced pluripotent stem cell. That is to take one cell source and turn it into another cell. The irony of ironies is that he used a fibroblast to create that stem cell. So our cell source is literally responsible for the entire stem cell revolution.
Pete, your technology has been described as more scalable and more cost-effective than traditional cell therapy. What does that mean for your patients and, of course, for investors?
Well, first of all, in comparing us to stem cells, they are an unstable platform, as I mentioned before. They're very difficult to work with, very costly. I think there's one or two stem cell products that are available. They are extraordinarily expensive. Fibroblasts being easier to harvest, easier to grow, a much more stable platform, they will always be more effective than stem cells, and they will always be less expensive than stem cells. So they will carry with them a much higher margin at lower cost to the system.
You've got a strong leadership team. It includes a world-class scientific advisory board. Tell us about the key players on your team.
Well, it starts with the head of the team is Hamid Khoja, our chief scientific officer. Hamid is the world's foremost expert in the therapeutic use of fibroblasts. We actually presented last week to a professor, a medical school professor who teaches dermatology, which is essentially what fibroblasts are. At the end of the presentation, he said, I had no idea. I teach fibroblasts every day, and I had no idea that they had a therapeutic value. So Hamid leads the world in that expertise. And on our scientific advisory board, we have really leaders in stem cells, because fibroblast leaders didn't exist out there. But these are world leaders in stem cells who did their research. They looked at what we were doing with fibroblasts and said they wanted to be a part of this. So we are really excited about the breadth and depth of our scientific advisory board.
Looking ahead 12 to 18 months, what are some key milestones that investors should be watching out for?
So in Q3 and 4, you'll be looking for some interim result data from our diabetic foot ulcer. We're doing site visits today. In fact, Hamid is in Australia doing site visits. So you'll see some interim results from that. You'll see top line results either towards the end of the year or the beginning of 26. So it all begins really right now, and that's a short endpoint study, 12 weeks. Our endpoint we will be releasing 6-week interim data. So you'll see something before the end of the year on that.
Final question, Pete. What is the essential value proposition? Why should an investor take an interest in FibroBiologics right now?
Well, again, we are a platform technology. We have multiple verticals. We have diabetic foot ulcers. We have orthopedics. We have degenerative disc disease. We do cancer, multiple sclerosis. We have a really exciting area of psoriasis that's beginning, and an extension of human life program through our repair of the thymic function. The thymus gland teaches the immune system. When you get into your 70s, it stops working. We've shown that we can create an organoid, a collection of fibroblast cells, and inject those under the skin, and they release and develop T cells for the body. We think that if that is successful, we can extend human life another 10 or 15 years. That's all wrapped up in more intellectual property in fibroblasts than the rest of the world combined. We have over 275 patents in this space. We are by far the world leader.
It's a great story, Pete. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, to get more information on FibroBiologics, visit FBLGinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like FibroBiologics. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small-cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. And also go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly our client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can also order your copy of Small Stocks, Big Money. This is a book written by RedChip's CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Order your copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now, let's recap the companies featured today. First, you met Bragg House, TBH on the NASDAQ. Bragg House is a leading media technology gaming platform dedicated to transforming casual college gaming into a vibrant community-driven experience. By seamlessly merging gaming, social interaction, and cutting-edge technology, the company provides an inclusive and engaging environment for casual gamers while enabling brands to authentically connect with the influential Gen Z demographic. The platform offers live streaming capabilities, gamification features, and custom tournament services, fostering meaningful engagement between users and brands. Learn more at www.braghouseinfo.com. Then, you met FibroBiologics, FBLG, on the NASDAQ. FibroBiologics is a clinical-stage biotechnology company developing a pipeline of treatments and potential cures for chronic diseases using fibroblast cells and fibroblast-derived materials. FibroBiologics holds more than 160 U.S. and internationally issued patents and pending patents across various clinical pathways, including disc degeneration, orthopedics, multiple sclerosis, psoriasis, wound healing, reversing organ involution, and cancer. FibroBiologics represents the next generation of medical advancement in cell therapy. Learn more at www.fblginfo.com. Don't forget to check out our stocks page. It is the biggest small-cap stock portal in the industry. It has every company listed on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange with a market cap of $2 billion and less. And it's categorized by industries. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small-cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. And be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter and learn about a lot of small-cap companies. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly our client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, if you have any questions about any of our public companies featured on today's show, call us at 1-800-RedChip or email us at info@redchip.com. In closing, remember, while small caps can provide significant gains, you must be prepared for the downside. Small cap stocks are among the most volatile of asset classes. Some of the companies featured on this show are RedChip client companies, and we may own stock in these companies. So please, always read our disclosures at redchip.com. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next week with some new, exciting, emerging growth companies.
RedChip. We build investor audiences for small cap companies, retail and institutional. 33 years, thousands of clients. We are experts in messaging. National TV ad campaigns, investor webinars, digital media, reaching hundreds of thousands of investors. RedChip. We do it well, we do it right, we do it big. RedChip. Call us or email us today.
Hello, I'm Dr. Stephen Quay, CEO of Atossa Therapeutics, where innovation meets purpose. As a NASDAQ-listed company trading under the symbol ATOS, we're focused on transforming breast cancer care with breakthrough science and a commitment to long-term value creation. Our name Atossa is a tribute to resilience. It honors Princess Atossa, the first recorded case of breast cancer treatment more than 2,000 years ago. Her story reminds us that even in the earliest days of medicine, there was hope. And today we carry that legacy forward with modern innovation and strategic focus. At the center of our mission is Z-endoxifen, a next-generation selective estrogen receptor modulator, or SERM. It's been engineered to be nearly 100 times more potent than tamoxifen, with an improved safety profile that supports broad application across the breast cancer treatment spectrum. Our immediate strategic priority is metastatic breast cancer, a life-threatening condition with limited durable treatment options. We believe this indication offers the most efficient regulatory pathway, allowing us to bring Z-endoxifen to patients sooner while unlocking value for investors. Encouraging early data has shown promising activity and tolerability, and we're confident in its potential to make a meaningful impact. At the same time, we are actively engaging with the FDA to pursue additional high-value indications. In prevention, (Z)-endoxifen has shown potential to reduce key risk factors like breast tissue density and estrogen receptor activity. In the neoadjuvant setting, early studies suggest it may reduce tumor proliferation and improve surgical outcomes. These areas represent significant market opportunities and further support our long-term growth strategy. Atossa's team of seasoned scientists, clinicians, and industry leaders are united around a single goal: to bring meaningful innovation to breast cancer treatment while building sustainable shareholder value. Our clinical programs are grounded in rigorous science, and our strategy is designed to deliver both near-term catalysts and long-term impact. We are also operating from a position of financial strength and no debt, with significant capital to fund operations for at least the next 2 years. This strong balance sheet allows us to move forward with focus, flexibility, and financial discipline. As we advance (Z)-endoxifen through clinical development, the focus remains on execution, collaboration, and delivering results that matter for patients and for shareholders. This is more than just developing new therapy. It's about empowering patients, providing hope, and reshaping breast cancer care for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Together, we are shaping the future of breast cancer care, driven by science, guided by strategy, and committed to outcomes that truly make a difference.